Everybody, today I am yelling and I promised Jared I would not. We are doing a video on spending $10,000 in amount of a week's span of time. I'm a cheap person, so this was definitely a struggle for me, and we embarked on this journey together. Are you cheap?
I'm cheap in certain areas, but I'm not in others. Like, I pick weird things to be cheap on.
Like what?
Like which gum I choose.
He's so flashy. Look like he about to go rob a store. But what you gonna do today?
We're gonna spend $10,000.
And putting that money out there and just saying, at the end of the day, like, I feel like I'm a pretty cheap person. You're pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hmm?
And so
Except when it comes to valet.
Except when it comes to valet. I'm cheap when it comes to everything. I think that's like something that, by and large, we're kind of on the same wavelength in terms of spending. I think I'm a little cheaper than you.
You are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
Like,
Definitely?
Yeah, because I don't mind valet. I don't mind paying for parking.
I do not do fat valet. Under no circumstances will you get my $5, sir. Plus tip, I'll park myself.
I get it. I do. But it's you're not paying. You're not. LA is hard to find parking. Hollywood is hard to find parking. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not if you try.
Yeah,
I
for
have
20, 30 minutes.
Attitude. I have a can-do attitude.
I hear you. I'm not saying it's impossible. What I'm saying is I'll pay the $5 so I can get out of my car right now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, I don't mind. I'm saving myself 30 minutes, and time is so valuable.
Yeah, I know, but like the feeling of getting a free parking when everybody else in the party looking around, like, look at these chumps, $10 out of their pockets because they didn't invest the time and get the exercise.
I know, I understand.
Parking is one of those things. I'm definitely the kind of person who would put myself through extra strife in order to save $1. But I will say this about my cheapness. I always say this. I'm not the kind of person who's cheap where I'm like, I want to save my dollar so I can spend yours. So it's never that like, oh, I don't want to get parking. And if a friend of mine in the car is like, I'll pay, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll still be the kind of person who's like, no, if I wouldn't want to pay for it, I wouldn't ask you to pay for it either. So I don't think I'm a scumbag cheap person. I think I'm just cheap. Anyways, with all that being said, so if you guys don't know this, then my show on Full Screen, Shampoo is Your Perfect Date, is still on the platform. And because so many of you guys watched that show and watched the entire series, they were like, hey, we think we'd like to put more of your content on there. And so they sent us a really interesting opportunity to be able to upload existing videos we've already made onto their platform and to license them. And a lot of those videos came from our channel. Jared took care of this entire project, which was actually, it seemed like easy money. There's no such thing.
It was a lot of work, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was a mountain of work.
But by and large, that gave us a big, nice chunk of cash flow. And I did a couple brand deals last month. I think last January, we had a lot of just grinding in January. And I think February has just been like us seeing the benefits of that and having a lot of work. So January was like grinding with no real payoff, and then February things started to trickle in. So as a result, I was like, I think it's time for me to invest. And I say that to say because I actually haven't bought a new camera or bought a lot of equipment in a very long time. I've like made do with what I had. If you guys saw the apartment tour video, like I'm pretty good at like saving $1 wherever I can. And at this point, I'm like, I want to reinvest in our business. I want to reinvest into what we're doing. And so we decided to just like spend some money. So just because we're spending money doesn't mean we're not focused on saving money. I love Walmart. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it or if that is wrong of me to say because perhaps they support the Trump administration. I don't really know what the full details are. But Walmart is so awesome. Like you can buy. I'm about to fill up this whole bag and I promise you guys, we're gonna spend like $400 in here. How much do you predict we'll spend in Walmart?
I would say like anywhere from 450 to 5.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
We're so in sync.
Get out of here.
She up there walking ahead while I gotta push. I gotta push this big ass cart.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So the thing that took up the bulk of the $10,000 was the $5,000 towards the Soho House.
Yeah.
That hurt.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah. a lot of back and forth. And so essentially it's like a members only club that is majority for people who work in the creative industry. But like there's one in London, there's one in New York, there's one in Toronto, there's one in Chicago, Miami has one. I know a couple places in Europe have one, and of course LA actually has 2 of them. So it's a space, like, especially like a lot of times we'd be on like, let's go out, and we would not know where to go. And we'd end up going somewhere that we're like, man, like, it's not really the kind of people we want to be around. And at this point in my career, like where I really want to like just keep growing and elevating, that really is about creating new relationships and meeting interesting people who are of like minds. So the Soho House is kind of a starting point to that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it puts you in the room.
The second thing that we wanted to invest in was equipment and electronics. We're fortunate to live in a space that is pretty bright, and so from that standpoint, we're taken care of. I made the investment of buying a vlogging camera probably like 5 months ago, and like that's been a great investment that we've used so many. All of Jared's videos are actually shot on the smaller little vlogging camera. I think it does beautiful quality, and it was a really inexpensive option. But it was time to like re-up on some other things, and so we ended up getting a second microphone so you guys can hear us better. We got another laptop that is Mac. I've never owned a Mac in my life. Jared has before, so this was like for him, you know, a major thing for him to be able to be more efficient and work better. Because
Yeah. What?
Go ahead.
No. That's probably my favorite purchase is the MacBook, because, you know, it allows, for one, it allows us to record and do, you know, what we need to do, like as far as voiceovers. It's another like laptop in the room to where we can, you know, edit 2 videos at once. You know, I can record my music on there now. You know, it's just so many things that are attached to the MacBook that help the brand and everything run smoothly, that I just feel like it's one of the biggest purchases that we needed to make.
See, I just think a laptop, period, but Jared is definitely like a Mac fan.
Well, no, I'll say this. MacBook, for me, in my experience, has been a lot more user-friendly than PC. And it's the same thing. Like, I understand. They both do the same thing. They both are the same thing. I get it. Why people are like, why don't we just go with the PC? But I'm just saying that I will be able to accomplish more things with the user-friendliness that the Mac has.
I mean, I will say I hear you complain a lot less using that computer than you used to using the PC.
Because I understand it. All I'm saying is I understand why you like PC. They're more custom.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper, and if you understand how to use it, you can do the same things.
Yeah, I mean, by and large, it's kind of like what my situation with that is. But we got that. We also got another lens for the little camera, and I'm excited about that because I've really wanted to get into vlogging, but I'm just like, it's not really hardwired in my brain. But then 2, I didn't like the lens that we had. We got a really cheap wide one, so we got a better one. So
yeah, we got the PlayStation 4. I thought that was like, that's another purchase that I enjoy.
Yeah.
You don't really get to enjoy it until we get like Mario Kart or something.
Yeah, we're trying to get like some kind of like fun game, or like, I wanted to get Mario Kart and I wanted to get like Street Fighter. But then somebody was like, you're not going to get Nintendo games for a PlayStation.
No, but they have stuff though. Like they have
alternatives.
Yeah, let's say, I don't know, I'm not in the game world like that, but I'm sure there's a game that's like Mario Kart. I'm sure there's a game like, you know, these certain things that we'll be able to find and get, you know.
It was given to us as a gift, but we also have the Apple TV as well too. Full Screen gifted us with that, which was really awesome. But that, to me in general, was like, we spend so much time at home. I spend so much time, and that was part of the Soho House membership thing too, because it was like, yo, I just need sometimes like to leave this space, because we shoot here, we edit here, I counsel here, we cook here, like we work out here, we do a lot in this space. And so it's important to me that this is like as comfortable and as fun and as diverse as possible. When we have guests over, like we can engage with them, and that this is a home for everybody. There's something to do here. So I think that for me is kind of curbing my cheapness a bit too, where it's like I can see why an investment like that matters. Like I love having snacks at our place that when people come over, like we can make it a welcoming experience. So there are areas that I'm like, because our home is really like an extension of us. It's the third person in this relationship. Like really, like we're together all the time. So it has to feel comfortable, and it has to feel like a positive and fun environment, and somewhere that you want to be.
So this don't even feel right.
I feel sick right now. It doesn't seem very super in here.
You said the one with the grocery store.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like a super store. I paid $1,500 for my clutch of my car because my clutch burnt out. I have to leave. You work a lot now.
I know.
But you always worked a lot because you've always worked full-time jobs and like hustled. Do you feel like now you work more hours than you used to, or it's about the same?
Definitely work more hours, but it's stuff that I enjoy. You know, I get to work on music and YouTube. It's hard to really be that upset. You know, you still get frustrated and you still get stresses, but the stresses are different. One thing that I learned by doing all this is learning that money is really a roadblock for a lot of people.
I think that it's a catch-22. I think people can make money a roadblock in their mind. What I've always done though is I've worked with what I had. But then I also want to discuss the point, like, what is awesome about you, which I actually don't really have, when it comes to, like, I'm a good enough person a lot of the times. Like, I'll do, and that's my thing. Like, I'm not an overthinker when it comes to putting out content. I create something, I put it out, I move on. But I don't often think, like, how can something be done exactly with the same things I have, but a little bit better? Like, he just discovered this really cool way to make our videos look like we bought new cameras. Or we'll discover really cool ways to make our sound. Like, he's obsessed with sound and, like, things sounding as best as possible. Where for me, I'm like, I just had the same sound setup probably for my entirety on YouTube, and I've been happy with that.
Yeah.
My hair crazy?
This one's falling out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. How long has that been happening?
I don't know. I just noticed it.
Sorry, guys. It's probably the most distracting thing in the world. Why is that funny?
Everyone should start thinking about how can they invest into themselves, even if it's just a little bit. I don't know. What's something small people can invest into?
Appearance. I think that's a small thing. A gym membership. Yeah, a big adjustment for me was food.
Yeah.
Deciding to buy organic even though it was more expensive, but just even if it's like it's all a myth and like organic doesn't even exist, just that thought that I know that I am putting that much more
Placebo.
effort. Yeah.
Placebo. I mean, look, it works.
All right, guys, so like he said in the comment section below, let us know one thing that you're like, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to invest into that thing. Let me tell you something. As a cheap person too, maybe a cheap person out there, I literally have never bought something. That's not true. I bought these designer purses this year.
Yes, you did.
I don't like them.
I remember when you bought them too, I was like, why did she do this?
They weren't good choices. I will say that, like, again, I don't have experience in this area. I'm not like really like up on like designer stuff, and I've never had a designer purse in my life. Never had like designer shoes in my life, and so that was just one of those things. I'm like,
no, you
I
had
just
to do
want
it.
it. Yeah, but I wish I made better choices for sure.
They're good choices.
But and then maybe the placebo effect, just knowing that I did that for myself and that I have those is nice. But the point I was making is that other than that purchase, you know, there's never really been something that I've done or I've invested in that I've thought back and thought, why the hell did I do that? I could have used that $1,000 to go and get drunk with my friends, or I could have used that money, you know, to give to a family member who's not going to pay me back. Like when you invest in yourself, even though it's the hardest investment, it ends up being the most worthwhile one. And even little things that, you know, I've invested in that I didn't end up pursuing, like, you know, years later I found that, oh yeah, that information that I took in or that I invested in, that thing that I bought actually helped me a lot. I think it's just part of the being part of the energetic circle. And I don't want to get too like fugazi on this, but like
hippie.
Yeah, hippie on it. But maybe it's more so a concept than anything else. Placebo.
It works. It don't matter how it works. It works.
So we $10,000 poorer, but we're still happy.
I get it, girl. Oh yeah, I get it, girl. Yeah, I get it, girl. Oh. And if you don't know, get it, girl.